I can't believe it's been a year since I've done this. So, time for another edition. Movies Too Bad to Review. All right. Today, I have 4 movies for us that were too bad to review. 3 of them were just boring, and 1 of them, woo boy. So, you should not watch any of these movies because they are all bad. So, kind of going to go in the order I watched them. First one, Black Eagle from 1988. This one had potential. The poster makes it look like Jean-Claude Van Damme's the star, but he's not. He is sort of the main henchman of the bad guy, but even then he doesn't get a lot of screen time. The star is a super spy who only gets 1 week or weekend. It's been a while since I've seen this. To stay with his kids per year. So he refuses to work. He's like, no, I'm not working this week. But of course, a super secret weapon gets lost in the bottom of the Mediterranean.
He's not available. Every year this time, he has 2 weeks to see his kids. It's the only time he can see them. That's our deal.
And so while he has his kids, they convince him to go duck away from the kids and try to find the weapon. There are some good bits. I really liked that, when they're on the boat, getting ready to dive, he's kind of pretending like he's not paying attention. But then if somebody comes up, another boat comes up, and he's instantly got his cover story down.
Nothing to interest you, sir. Hardly of commercial size were great, but then these waters are not noted for their productivity. It has been some 60 years since intensive commercial fishing has been a factor in this economic life of this island. In the past 25 years...
Thank you very much for your information. I shall pass it along to the Ministry of Fisheries.
But other than that, pretty boring. There's not a lot of fights. It started off okay. There's just too much talking, too much stuff with the kids. Not worth watching. Timelock from 1996 is the second one I watched. The sci-fi movie where there is a ship taking some prisoners to a prison planet. And while the ship is docked there, the prisoners stage this revolt. It could have been good because the prisoners that were on the prison ship, they have a plan to break out one of the guys. And one of the criminals, he's like, I'm not supposed to be here. I was just caught for a minor crime. And so he's not really into these super psycho killers. The main actress is Mariam Dabo, who was, done a lot of stuff. She was a Bond girl. She's also like the cousin once removed of Olivia Dabo. But she mostly just spends time trying to get away from the bad guys, and the bad guys get off the planet. There is a funny part where apparently the people that made this heard of, in the future, they put people in cryo storage, and they really focused on the cryo part, because when we get to the planet, it's an ice planet, and we see people, these looks like hunks of meat or people hanging outside frozen, and we find out that's the cryo storage. So their cryo storage is just putting people outside and hanging them out like sides of beef. But yeah, another boring one. Okay, the Bone Snatcher, that's the one I just watched this week from 2003. This one is, I believe, a co-Canadian, South African, Australian production. And that just says it's great. So it starts off, some geologists are out in the desert, and they get some mysterious signal, and they find it and they get killed. And then we get kind of the main problem. We switch to this other scientist, and he is sort of monitoring some Arctic research station that's going bad. And he's like, we got to save them.
I'm going to activate the bypass. You work on rerouting the secondary. Come on now. They got less than
And then he saves them because there's no point in any of that. And then he's like, oh, I got to go to the desert. And we're never really, at least I don't recall, like, what is he a scientist of? And he has this machine they carry around that has like a thing kind of like the motion sensor in Aliens, but we're never really told what it does. We don't know what he is a scientist for. We don't know why he's going to the desert. So he gets there, and there are some people stationed there in the middle of the desert. There's also a scene when he gets to Africa, and they just drop him off in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around, but there's some African dude just sitting out there. Like, I don't think people just sit in the desert. But then another vehicle comes up and they take them, and they're like, okay, again, we don't really know what this dude's doing. They're like, we're going to find the people that disappeared. Well, they find out it was a monster. And so most of them is like, oh, we have to try and make it across the desert and survive. And so, they find ways to keep the creature at bay. They figure out what the creature is. It's a lot of like, oh, I think we should do this. No, you should do it. And I got so bored, I almost turned it off. It also ends with like the main character totally like, see you later to the pretty woman. And it's like, what are you doing? She's pretty. Why? And you guys got along. Why not at least try it? I don't know. Okay, then this last one. Oh boy. Woo. This, well, it wasn't boring. It's Heroines of S.W.O.R.D from 2014. So I think the tagline is the sexiest super heroines or ever, or something like that. So I kind of knew going into it there was going to be some boobs. But I did not expect this. This is some kind of fetish thing. So the story is these female superheroes, their powers are sort of going in and out, and they're trying to figure out why. But throughout the movie, each of the women gets their shirts torn off, and then they each either get bounded, so there's a lot of bondage stuff, or I noticed this, they get in a fight and the shirt gets torn off, and like one of the bad guys holds her arm, holds her back, and the other dude is punching her while she's topless. And that happens a lot. That's weird and very specific kind of fetish that whoever made this went through. According to the IMDb, the maker of this made a few other movies. So if that's your thing, there it is. It ain't mine. It was kind of like, what is going on here? Yeah, so there you go. 4 movies. Don't watch any of them. Gonna play my way off. Like and subscribe if you know there's been some of the tech YouTubers are talking about viewpocalypse, and I've noticed my views have been down too. So like and subscribe.